There's a lot I wanted to address in this video, but decided not to in order to keep the pacing and message as clear as possible. It's a big video and I wanted to make your time watching it count. Nevertheless, I would like to speak to a few things directly. DFTI 20 is the end result of my long-standing desire to contextualize the role of news in our society and in our psyche. I tapped into 3 buckets of wisdom: the books I listed in the video, my own successes and failures from working at the grassroots level in organizing spaces, and my vantage point from within the news ecosystem. Nothing I said is meant personally. I made it clear that I'm talking about the need to address a broken system that is larger than any one entity's actions. Every so often, I'm asked to recommend specific news sources, and I usually step back from this question because, as I allude to in the main video, understanding the limits of what news can offer makes you multitudes better at being a news consumer. I don't put all of my trust in a single news source. I read a breadth of them while simultaneously considering their inherent biases. I try to balance between healthy skepticism and toxic contrarianism. Your news diet should be a mix of reliable outlets who report the facts, trusted analysis on what those facts mean, and the historical context to dig deeper and learn about broader patterns. No one outlet does all of those 3 very well, and even if one did, you should never let one company be the sole gatekeeper for all the information you consume. So read a variety of sources, but make a habit of considering the filters from the propaganda model and the construction of the news ecosystem as you weigh the validity of what you consume. Newspapers generally do great reporting, but their analysis and op-ed sections should be taken with massive grains of salt. Cable news is a never-ending flammable dumpster circus, and I recommend you consume absolutely none of it outside of the occasional clip on the internet. With that huge disclaimer out of the way, I personally think PBS and NPR are good starting points. They are funded through a mix of public and private means, and their corporate missions and histories prioritize increasing public access to information at all levels of society. I have an ever-evolving selection of independent podcasts and online talk shows where I get political analysis, and I keep my eye out for new documentaries on the streaming platform so I can get the context that the rat race the news cycle sorely lacks. If you follow me on social media, I'm often sharing what's grabbing my attention and what I'm listening to. And at many people's request, I'm experimenting with a political podcast format and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I'll link to those episodes in the video description, and I could really use the feedback on what to do with it, so talk to me. Lastly, 2 major events happened in my life during the production of this video that underscore much of its message. The death of George Floyd and subsequent protests in America and worldwide drew substantial attention to the issue of police brutality, or at least it seems so. Speaking at this moment in time, I wonder how this will age. The event itself has drawn attention to the countless killings of people of color that are lost to history due to the lack of media attention. When these victims' faces are flooded on social media, I can often see the faces of my friends, my family, or myself in them. It's numbing when these incidents happen so often, and it seems like there's no end to the carnage in sight, and few meaningful changes are on the way. More and more people are finally recognizing the systemic issues surrounding racialized police violence, and they want to keep the momentum of the movement going. But for that to happen, we absolutely must break our old habits, or else we'll fall back into them. That's the connection between media and activism that I spent extra time trying to convey clearly in DFTI 20. The other major event that happened in the middle of production was the sudden loss of my close friend and former roommate, Courtney Brussell. I didn't realize this when I started the project, but Courtney embodied the hands-on political activism that I evangelize in it. He spent much of his time in high school and college involved in a myriad of political causes in multiple levels of government. He advocated for issues to improve the lives of those less fortunate in the communities he participated in. He devoted what were tragically the last months of his life to aggressively campaign for the broader availability and accessibility of public transit. He saw the intersection of transit with race, poverty, housing, and so much more. And while walking back home one evening, Courtney was killed in gunfire from a man with a type of automatic weapon that is far too easy to obtain in the United States. Events like the untimely deaths of George Floyd or Courtney Brussell have the potential to radicalize people because the associated trauma affects them on a deeper level. Like a lot of people, I've been mourning and I've been upset, but I encourage you not to be numb in these times, for they and countless others will have died in vain. The process of learning for this video helped give me a new sense of direction, and I hope watching it inspires something similar in you. Please don't fall back into complacency after this moment. Be accountable to yourself and to others. Find something to work on today, tomorrow, or sometime this week. Resolve to be more politically active offline and to create the change we want to see in our communities. Because the future won't wait. And to be honest with you, it'll be really bleak without your help. At the very least, don't say I didn't try to warn you.